that Santa's balls are white?
No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
What if he tans nude at the beach? How do you know? Maybe he's black from the waist down. How do you know what color Santa's balls are?
Oh my god. Okay, don't worry about it. Let's go play our London only match.
You should never tell me a dirty joke. I don't like, you know, it's 2023. We shouldn't imply what color Santa's balls are.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what we were. Yeah.
Is that not the joke? I'm
might get that
21
one.
years old. I want to get the joke. Can you tell me the joke, please?
What's a chess player's favorite TV show?
What?
Pawn Stars. I didn't write these, okay?
Oh god. Oh god.
How do you make a chessboard laugh? Check.
How?
Tell it a nightmare joke. Why did the chess player go to jail? It's really bad. It's really, really bad, okay?
Yeah, that's why I gave up on guessing it.
Because they can't control their pawn addiction.
It does not even make sense. How did the chess player propose
To their partner.
on a castle?
No. They got down on one knee and said, "Will you be my mate?"
Uh-huh. I don't think it would work.
Yeah, you think chess players are getting girlfriends?
Okay. We can skip that one.
Yeah.
What I have in my hands here
Yep.
are just some little baby noodles.
Oh, they're so cute.
So these
Don't scare the snake.
are month-old reticulated peasants. Let's go ahead and bring them.
Yeah, look, I can hold it.
Just support their
Just in a
bodies.
second.
Support their bodies.
Yes.
You can show them to stream.
Hello.
We love snakies.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Kind of feels like it's choking me.
Oh, she's not holding it.
Okay, this is. She's not
That's just her
trying
body
to.
weight on
That's just. She's just this heavy.
That's
Okay,
good.
great.
My baby
I feel like I'm getting choked.
Oh my god, Nemo, you are actually fearless.
I'm
Alright,
getting
now I can go on to this side.
Can I tap out?
Oh my god.
No, it's okay.
Nemo,
I got
holy
it.
moly. Oh my god.
So lean forward.
Oh my god. This is insane.
Happy 420. Do you know what 420 is?
420?
Yeah.
No.
You don't know what 420 stands for?
No, I don't.
Oh my god, chat. He doesn't know what 420 stands for.
Wait, what does 420 stand for?
Yeah, it stands for April 20th. Of course. That's what it stands for. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
You have to update me.
Do you know what 69 stands for?
Yeah.
Okay. 420 is when you smoke
that's-
weed. Yeah, and it's like 420.
Oh, I think I've actually heard about that. before.
Okay.
I didn't know it was 420.
Alright, you go.
I'm thinking if I move my queen here,
Oh, wait. Where?
like I'll move it to e10.
E10. Where's E10? Wait.
Nothing, nothing.
Wait, where is E10? I'm so confused.
Nothing. It's not on the board actually.
Wait, was that a nuts joke or something that I missed?
No, that'd be weird and out of pocket. Anyway,
Look at the chat and Nemo's Twitch channel, loving every minute. 10-6-6. She's gonna have to dodge a lot of bullets here. Pulte for now looking for a king, a 10, or a 7. Plenty of backdoor draws, including the 3-3. Needs a king, 10, 7, or 3, or this tournament is over. And this tournament is over. Nemo gets the job done. She's stunned, but she's the champion.
Thank you so much, Pulte. It was a pleasure to play against you. Thank you.
Nice
Thank
job.
you. Oh my god.
Spend it wisely.
I will. Okay, 5 push-ups. You guys ready? Ah! Oh my god, I'm slipping. Okay, I'm gonna do it against the doorway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, workout for the day done. Oh, don't understand. Like, where is this leg going? Okay, so I think it goes like this, right? And then you want to get into like this position. Like, I think that's what we're trying to. Ta-da! See? My little fist? It fits perfectly. Proof that I punched it. Like, my fists aren't very big. They fit perfectly into each of these holes. And that's why my hand is like beyond bruised. They're quite bad. Oh shit, I should play this. Fudge. Wait, I checkmated? Wow, I'm a genius! All planned! Oh, know who this is. Your girlfriend? Bertosh's girlfriend? Wait, actually, I was fully joking. I was entirely memeing. Oh my gosh. That's so funny. He's dating a chess player? Good for him, I guess. I don't know if that's a good for him in Polish culture. I don't know what chess players are like in Poland. If you have an elo, I'm automatically not dating you, so tough luck, buddy. Only dating people who have no idea what the fuck chess is. Alright, okay. I'm scared, guys.
A little bit. 3, 2,
Let's go, Nemo!
1.
Oh, this hand. No, the headphones are getting in the way. I don't remember this at all. Okay, here we go again.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
This is fine. Dude, how do you do the horse thing? I don't get it. I literally do not get it. Like, I genuinely don't understand. Alright, I'm done. Oh my god! That was awesome! That was so scary! You did it! Okay, thank you. It was hot for like a brief second. Right? It was really brief second.
And you got the dragon's breath.
Okay, thank you so much. What do you get when you jingle Santa's balls?
Jingle balls, obviously.
A white Christmas.
I don't get it.
Okay.
Are you implying that Santa's balls are white?
No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
What if he tans nude at the beach? How do you know? Maybe he's black from the waist down. How do you know what color Santa's balls are?
Oh my god. Okay, don't worry about it. Let's go play our London only
That's why
match.
you should never tell me a dirty joke. I don't like, it's 2023. We shouldn't imply what color Santa's balls are.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
that's what we were, yeah.
Is that not the joke? I'm
might get that
21
one.
years old. I want to get the joke. Can you tell me the joke, please?
What's a chess player's favorite TV show?
What?
Pawn Stars. I didn't write these, okay?
Oh god. Oh god.
How do you make a chessboard laugh?
Check.
How?
Tell it a nightmare joke. Why did the chess player go to jail? It's really bad. It's really, really bad, okay?
Yeah, that's why I gave up on guessing it.
Because they can't control their pawn addiction.
It does not even make sense. How did the chess player propose
To their partner.
on a castle?
No. They got down on one knee and said, "Will you be my mate?"
Uh-huh. I don't think it would work.
Yeah, you think chess players are getting girlfriends?
Okay. We can skip that one.
Yeah.
What I have in my hands here
Yes.
are just some little baby noodles. So these are month-old reticulated peasants. Let's go ahead and bring them.
Yeah, I can hold it.
Just support their body.
Support their body.
Alright, hello everyone. Oh my gosh, wait, they have like these 3 streak things. That's so awesome. Okay, I hope you guys are all doing really well today. It would appear that my mic is peaking really, really hard. So let me actually drop that down a little bit. Shit. Okay, I'm still sick, as you guys can kind of hear. I sound like I could right now sing some banger Miley Cyrus. I actually feel like I have the perfect voice for country music. So maybe we give that a try later today. Okay, no, but jokes aside, I am actually genuinely a little bit sick. You can hear it in my voice very strongly, so it like hurts to raise my voice. It also hurts to call my cat over, who refuses to join me, and instead he is hiding in the bathroom, but that's okay. I'm gonna close the other door though. It feels like Catsko knows that he's being dropped off with my parents tomorrow, and he's just like apprehensively looking at me with his big eyes. He's like, oh, sorry, there is not supposed to be a gambling warning unless we decide to start gambling on anything, which we might later, but for now there should not be a gambling warning. I'm going to Japan. I always forget to take off the gambling warning. I apologize. To be fair, your games are Gamba anyways, so honestly, it's not even like it's that unbefitting. Oh my gosh! It is September! Yo! Thank you so much, Octo, for the Prime. Welcome back to your 2nd month, and thank you so much, Bobby Barker, for the Tier 1 as well. Welcome back to your 10th month. You guys are awesome. Appreciate it a lot. It is September, so September, you have 30% on all new subs. If you haven't subbed yet, this is a great month to sub. This is a really, really fantastic month to sub. So what we're doing today is we are going to be coaching a certain gentleman, Tadden Poker, in a little bit of chess. And he has actually stated that he is 1800 in chess. He is going to be on call very soon. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a premise for why we're doing this. And he has won the, well, actually, he didn't technically win. He was the only person to submit a receipt for our HelloFresh subscriptions. So the deal is, if we get to 10, I'm going to do another lesson giveaway. So guys, if you want to check out HelloFresh, if you haven't yet, HelloFresh is a food, well, HelloFresh is like a food delivery, but you gotta assemble type subscription. They're really awesome. I actually got my HelloFresh box today, so I'm gonna be making food. But yeah, make sure you guys are also checking that out. Thank you, Dougie. I appreciate it. But that is how we're doing this. That is why we're doing this. And if you guys... Showing up is actually 80% of life. Tadden showed up, and he got it. But that's how he won this lesson. So we're going to call Tadden really, really, really quick. And then you guys are going to basically... It was alright? Okay, fair enough, Mega Man. Honestly, I just like mozzarella pesto, and I don't like chicken on pizza. So that might be just a me thing. But I did not clear Chapter 2 either. I have officially given up. We're gonna just give up. I've given up. It's too hard. I'm too bad at gaming to proceed with Wukong. I feel so bad. People are like on Chapter 6 and I'm still struggling on Chapter 2. And I'm just like, bro, this is gonna be tough. But anyways, today is gonna be a little chess day because I accept I am not very good at gaming. I mean, I thought I was making progress. I know I was making progress, but progress was slow. And it's okay to admit that sometimes, you know, your parents put all of your points into chess. And it's okay to acknowledge that and accept that. It's alright. We live, we move on. I can't respec. Unlike Wukong, I can't respec in life. I really wish that I was just given a controller like 5 years before I started streaming. Because literally the first time I ever played with a controller was Elden Ring. That was literally the first time I've ever touched a controller in my life. So it's just tough. It's just tough. Controller gaming is just tough. My brain is just not fast enough. I'm like, I mean, I'm trying to respec into poker. I really am. But still, like 2 points into gaming would be great. So I think I like the gameplay of Elden Ring more because I can cheese it easier. But I think I like the story of Wukong more because it is more like my culture and it's actually a really interesting story. Not saying that Elden Ring is not an interesting story, but I am so confused as to why we're looking for fingers. I don't know why there are 2 fingers. I honestly have no idea what we're doing in that game other than looking for fingers. So like, you know, at least in Wukong, I understand I am this young monkey who is trying to get revenge because I am part of this race of monkeys. Like, I understand that. The Elden Ring lore is just so confusing and so complicated, and then I just don't understand. So, at least with the Wukong game, there is like a little bit of, you know, there's a little backstory. So I like the culture behind Wukong, and there's actually Journey to the West, which I found out is Xiangsi, which like Xiangji, which makes a lot more sense. And now I actually know where the story comes from. I did read the books, like the kid versions as a kid. So, but yeah, struggling with the game itself. But anyways, before I let Taden go off for too long, I'll call you if you ready. So the way that I'm going to conduct this lesson, it's going to be lighthearted. If you guys have anything you want to say, if you want to have any input, feel free to go ahead with it. But this lesson is going to be very befitting of anybody with a rating of around mid thousands to 2000, I guess, because his entire spiel is that he wants to get better and wants to improve from 1800 to a higher elo. So he is 1800. This is going to be a little less like super beginner friendly, but I hope you guys can all learn something from him. The new chair is so comfortable. Oh my gosh. Like, I never had a chair with a backrest that goes out like this, and I've had a lot of chairs. And this is genuinely the most comfortable. Like, this is not even an ad. I can't wait to give one of these out. It's actually so comfortable. It's great. So yeah, he's mid sounds rude, but I'm gonna call him. And I'll have Taden explain his own chess path and all that stuff. Yeah. There is no new PogChamps. Oh, hello. Let me make sure that everybody can hear you. Oh, and thank you, Philemon. Do you mind just speaking? Just count to 10 for me. Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, that's good.
7. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, I have your audio. Okay, so I'm gonna turn mine down a little bit just so we both volume match. But he's good. Thank you, Philemon, for the dono. Appreciate it. So this is Taden. Taden, this is stream.
Hello, Chan. Honestly, my chess is kind of mid. I feel bad because, like you said, this is not beginner friendly, but I'm gonna play like a beginner. So.
Wait, I didn't think you actually heard that. I was just reading off what Voice Shack was writing in the chat.
Oh.
I'm not actually calling your chess mid.
Don't worry. After you see it, you will call it mid.
Oh, okay, got it. Well, I'm just gonna read what you wrote to me. So basically, Taden was asking what I would recommend for an 1800 that has barely ever held a chess book in their hands. Honestly, I would say that that is just basically every 1800 that you see these days. I feel like books are super outdated because, once again, we have a lot of good learning resources that are not books, and I think that's totally okay. But on the second point, he says that there's some theory, like what strengths specific pawns have that I've never learned, but I'm unsure how compatible. Yeah, that's fine. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to play... Do you play Rapid ever? Do you just mostly play Blitz?
I actually play Bullet only because my attention span doesn't allow me to play much more. But...
Wait, sorry, you are
20.
Um,
What's your rating? I'm gonna look up your profile really quick.
so it's 1800. It was 1800 in bullet like 3 days ago, but then disaster came and I think it's 1600 now.
Okay, I respect the honesty. Oh wow, when he says disaster, he means it. Let me show you guys. This is truly the definition of disaster. I'm gonna put it to 7 days. It's not even that bad. Yeah, it's fine. It's not even that bad. But that's good. It's good that you're aware at least. So honestly, we're gonna play. We'll do 5+5. So we can get 2 games in and then review, because I feel like 10 minutes is kind of long. If, like you said, you don't have the attention span. I understand.
I mean, that's why I watch you for real.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, so we're going to do 2 different games. So first of all, I'll play black, and we're going to do 5-5. Except, what is 5 by 60? It is 300. 305. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so just do your best. I'm not going to say too much during the game, but if you have any questions, if you have any thoughts, just let me know.
Wait, is that for me or for Chad?
For you.
Oh.
But also for chat. If chat has any questions about why did Taden make this terrible move, that's okay too. I see you're a true bullet player. Have not spent.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah, probably
Boyshak,
my
for the
openings
tier
are
1.
very
Thank you.
good for bullet, but I'm not sure how effective this is for even blitz, I would say.
Well, I think that's okay because, like, I don't know about your competitive chess potential, but to my understanding, you're not really looking to play classical chess right this second, right?
No, I enjoy life.
Fair enough. Enjoying life is honestly fair enough. So, do you have ambitions? There's nothing wrong with saying no. There's nothing wrong at all with saying no to having no ambitions in chess itself.
Honestly, part of it is having fun. I think, like, as an actual goal, it would be maybe reaching 2000 one point in my life, but that's about it.
Okay. I think reaching 2000 is a very realistic goal for somebody who's already 1800, and especially on chess.com, right? Like, this is not, you're not going to go play classical tournaments to get to 1800. On chess.com, it's mostly just going to be not making basic mistakes. But we'll see. We'll play this game out and we'll see. I'll let you think too.
Yeah. I mean, just to give context, I guess, to Chad, I'm thinking that there is a fork potentially coming for you for my knight and bishop, so I'm trying to, like, get rid of that.
That is great. But do you see how you might have a slight problem? Okay, you found the move, I was going to say.
Yeah.
Good. If he did not play b4, he was going to get forked or his knight was going to get stuck. So b4 was basically his only move there.
That's annoying.
Yes, it is. He has lost a pawn. It's not looking too hot. He doesn't, well, I muted myself on his end so he can't hear, but he is 1800 in a lot of time controls actually. He's 1800 in rapid, he's 1800 in blitz, and he was 1800 in bullet as well. So he's an all-around 1800er. And you can kind of see from this opening itself that it is not off to a very hot start because he has lost a pawn. And I think part of that is what he was talking about, how he plays openings that are more fitting of bullet, which I agree with. This opening is not really something that you want to get into like a long game with somebody for because it's not a very good opening. So yeah. But I hope you guys learn a little bit from this as well. Obviously, chess is a very hard game, but I would say that for the most part, what you guys are able to learn and understand is, you know, development's important. Getting castled is important. Probably not moving as many pawns at the start of the game is also important. And I'm not saying that Tadin's game is over or anything like that, but at this very current moment, he did move a lot of pawns in the opening, and now he is down a pawn, so that's a little sad. Oh shoot, sorry, I forgot about that. I forgot I was streaming on YouTube. I literally forgot I was streaming on YouTube. I apologize. Okay, can you maybe please make the VOD public again? I'm so sorry, YouTube. Every now and then, I will enable YouTube, like, stream on YouTube, because I want to keep the VOD available for later, and then I just straight up forget that I'm doing that because I'm so used to having my music. But yeah, alright. I apologize, my bad. Hello, YouTube. And then when I do that, Boyshack is responsible for going back and enabling the bot again, so my apologies. So this is actually a kind of interesting position. Even though he is down a pawn, I do have to be a little bit careful here because he has all his pieces aimed at my king side, sorry, as you can see. Not on YouTube, only on Twitch. I'm trying to figure this out right now. I'm gonna go into a deep think. I'm thinking. I think development is always good. There is never anything wrong with development. We're gonna play some DMCA free music. I know, right? What is that? These are so soft. These are just like random Mario Kart songs. I'm cool with some Mario Kart music. So this is a really good move. He's trying to get his knight here, which would attack this pawn and my bishop at the same time. It's true, French fries. Yeah. But, you don't hear any music? My nose is really that congested. Yes, I sound ridiculous. Like I said, I would do great singing some old school rock right now. My voice is really just like this. I don't even have a sore throat. I just have a congested as fuck nose. Like yeah. I do. I sound like I could sing a country song. I'm extremely nasally. But I am getting better. So when you're up a pawn or something, you just want to like hold your position together and not let it fall apart and just keep on to your pawn and then slowly convert that into a win. Hey Days, thank you so much for the 40 months and thank you. Appreciate it. You do not... Well, I mean, 95 is honestly fine as a move. But I want my knight here just to defend. I think, like, single move to bait is cool and all. But at certain levels, it's not going to work very well. Because your opponent will not be a doofus. Unfortunately, once we get to the category of opponents not being absolute doofuses when we play chess against them, the benefit of playing like one move tricks goes significantly down. And I have categorized Tadin here as not a doofus. He is a fine player. Oh yeah, for sure, Gary. Yes. It just make everything sound like you have a nasal sound on it when it doesn't need to. Well, the problem with knight to c8, knight to d6, first of all, it is slow, but also second of all, once you get to d6, they can just take the pawn. So, plans like that don't work as well.
I feel like there is some small trap in here by you sacking the rook, and then, like, if I try to go for your knight to defend, say on f5, you can sack your rook, and then I think you might have some pin on my queen, maybe. But these are just like bullet thoughts because I haven't calculated. It's just intuition.
Wait, I'm so confused. How are you trapping my rook?
No. I'm saying like, if I go say from like my knight on h4 to f5. Oh, thanks for the time.
No worries.
Yeah, if I move knight h4 to f5, and then say I end up trading, say, your knight and your bishop, then I am worried about you eventually having ideas of sacking the rook on c3, and maybe that weakens my d pawn, which has like direct line into my king. Yeah, just to give some context on what I was thinking on and trying to calculate.
Got it. Appreciate the context. I would say that that is something that I'm very unlikely to be able to pull off. I do agree with you that that is pretty much a bullet thought, because giving a rook up for a pawn, right, is just going to make it so much harder for me to get any type of compensation out of that. Like, I have such an uphill battle, so it's very unlikely that a tactic like that would work, but it's good that you have the awareness and that you're thinking about it, for sure. Like, that's the hard part about chess. Like, I always tell you to look for checks, captures, and threats. Oh, sorry.
Oh, wait.
I resigned accidentally.
Well, that was the easiest win of my life.
Easiest win of your life. My bad. I apologize. I literally just trying to press the plus 15 button, and then my mouse like went on the resign. But actually, I think this is a really good place to pause and just analyze. So I'm gonna invite you to the analysis room really quick. My bad. Hey, you can say you got a win.
No.
I just got distracted. Okay. No, I don't have the double check yes or no on for resign. If I want to resign, I just want to go to the next game. So anyways, what I was going to say is I would say your opening is a little sus. But you know that.
Yeah. Okay.
So first of all, here I actually have straight up bishop takes g1, which I missed, and then I had this fork.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that you did miss, and I also missed, so that's on me. But your opening is also extremely, extremely sus. You're moving, like, just way too many pieces that have already moved once. Does that make sense?
You mean the pawns in this scenario?
Well, I think the pawns is maybe one thing. I think f5 is forgivable. I would definitely say knight to f6. Sorry, knight to f3 with the idea of just pure development, and then maybe queen to e2, maybe bishop to e3 is perhaps a little bit more productive. But I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with f5. It's just a very different type of position to play where you're closing the position and you know your opponent's going to try to open in the center, right? If you're closing one side of the board, your opponent's always going to try to retaliate in the center. And you're going to have to try to defend your f-pawn with, like, vigor. So I think that is something that, just looking at your pawn structure, this is an issue for you. And I understand that might not feel like an issue, or it has not been an issue in the past because you play a lot of, bullet, and people don't really think about positional stuff like that. But if you want to have an easier middle game to play, that is probably something you should think about. And if you're going to play the bishop opening or whatever this King's Gambit hybrid Vienna thing is, I'm not even really sure what this is. But
it's a Vienna.
Okay, it is a Vienna. Okay. It just looks like now it's a King's Gambit, but I would say you just want to really study that. And obviously knight to a4 is just an actual mistake. So you just don't want to make that move in the future. Hi, Indrid. Thank you so much for the 29 minutes. Appreciate it.
I think this move exists if you don't play c6, right?
Correct. The move exists if I don't play c6 because then I don't have b5. But c6 is a very it's a very normal move because I'm threatening d5, I'm threatening b5. This move is very normal, so you shouldn't be approaching the position with the thought remembering moves, right? You should just be looking at the position and going each instance like, hey, here, what does my opponent want to do? Maybe they want to play d5. If they want to play d5, d5 is actually really annoying because then my bishop gets pushed back. If you can't take because they would take on f5 and now they get a very strong center. So how can I potentially stop my opponent from playing d5? Queen to f3 comes to mind, and now you're stopping me from pushing d5. And now if I push d5, obviously this is going to not be so great for me. I lose a pawn. So then I have to go find something else. With the way that the game went, even though I didn't win the piece, I still managed to get d5 pushed. And once d5 got pushed, I immediately won your pawn on f5. And from this point on, you're already down a pawn. And we're only, how many moves? We're only 12 moves into the opening. And you're already down a pawn.
Yeah, that sounds good. Just a small question. So, going back to the f5 move. So the reason I make this move usually is when I play against opponents which have higher rating than me, that like white bishop is something that I'm always scared of, like going into like g4, pinning eventually my knight when I'm protecting the queen. So yeah, this kind of ideas, because my other bishop is like outside of the pawn structure, so I can come back and defend.
Right, so I would say if knight to f3, and that's something you're worried about, one of the problems with playing bishop to g4, obviously, is f takes c5, and then if takes, there's just bishop takes f7, and then you have this discovered attack fork thing. So tactically, bishop to g4 just does not work at this current moment. That being said, if for example, black castles, this makes a much better time to potentially play f5 because now black has committed to castling, and then you can, you know, potentially not even castle, just go for attacks on the king side. These are more bullet thoughts than it is concrete chess thoughts. But if, like, bishop to g4 is strictly something that you are afraid of, once again, you can just play... I just don't think it's that much of a threat. I don't really like h3 because it just weakens your king side a bunch. And now you have all these weak dark squares that you probably don't want to deal with. I just don't think it's that much of an issue. Like, obviously you can't castle at this moment, so you gotta get rid of this dark square bishop, right? And then because I castled and my dark square bishop doesn't have an escape square, now if I, for example, take on f4, you can take on c5, and now my center is ruined. And you should love this position as white. You have 2 pawns in the center. You can choose to castle queenside. You can choose to castle kingside. You can do whatever you would like. This is a great position for you.
Okay. Honestly, I feel very happy that I went for this opening, even though you called it like sus. Just because I feel like it's the opening I played the most, so I have more experience, and that's why I can like these different ideas. I can like explain a little bit more why I made the decision of making that move.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's no one right way to play openings at your elo. But I think not understanding the ideas behind why you make some moves will definitely get in the way of playing the opening successfully, whether or not your opponent knows it, right? Like, for example, if I was just paying a little bit more attention here, and I saw that after knight to a4, I can just win a free piece, then you'd be down a piece on move, whatever this is, 7. And even though I didn't see this move, I just playing very natural moves, you were down a pawn by move 12. You just don't want to be in situations like that. So how do we counter that? And the answer to that is you know, just being more familiar with these type of openings. So for example, like understanding that, you know, if you want to castle short, you got to get rid of this bishop, then you can go knight to a4 because I haven't played c6. It's just like making these little neural pathways. Whereas for example, if here I play something like c6, right, now your knight is also no longer on g1, so now you can play knight to a4, and now this, I don't have the trick anymore. So now it's okay to play knight to a4. If I play a6, for example, to try to hide my bishop, knight to a4 doesn't really matter. This is not a useful move because now I can just hide my bishop. So there's no point in any more longer playing knight to a4, and instead, in order to castle, you should be trying to cut off this bishop. You can see how plans change based on each and every single move, and that's something that you just have to think about if you're going to play an opening that is a little less structured, like this opening.
Yeah.
That makes sense? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest issues with being 1800 and being an opening one trick is that you're relying on your opponent not knowing the opening to get to the middle game. But if they know the opening is not played very much at higher levels for a reason. You don't see the Vienna played regularly in the candidates or world championships, yeah?
Oh, for sure.
So we're aware of the issues with the opening, so if we want to get to 2000 being a Vienna one trick, we just gotta be really tight with our opening. You're only playing one opening. You might as well be good at it.
Okay.
That was my approach with the Spanish. If I'm only gonna play the Spanish, I might as well know every single line in the Spanish. So, it's very much like just familiarize yourself with those plans. If your choice is to play f5 because you enjoy playing these positions, no problem. That's none of my business, but then you do have to be aware of what black wants to do afterwards, which is the idea of pushing d5. It's the idea of pushing b5. So then you just have to think about how am I going to counter that, right? And I gave you the idea of playing queen to f3 to stop d5. There's maybe an opportunity to play a4 so you can hide your bishop on a2. Although this doesn't look very pleasant, I'm not gonna lie. This just looks kind of painful to play for the white pieces, but if you don't mind playing endgames like this where you're gonna be, you know, like, I don't know if you like playing. You don't mind or you do mind?
I do mind. Yeah.
You do mind. Okay, right. So if you don't want to play positions like this, then once again, you got to go queen f3 to just stop d5. Or not play f5 in the first place and get over your fear of the bishop going to g4. Just don't let them play bishop to g4, knight to c6, knight to d4 in a row. That's literally it. And then you don't have to be afraid of it anymore. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because, but like, yeah, of course. But like, how do you counter them playing this 3 moves in a row? Because I don't have much control on any of these squares, I guess, except for bishop to c4. But then that implies playing.
Well, I just showed you. Bishop g4 loses to f takes e5. Literally loses. Oh. Right? So you can't even play bishop g4. If knight to c6, then you just say, okay, whatever, knight to a4, and bishop moves, okay, whatever. You takes, and now you castle. And now if bishop to g4, then you can play h3. And then if the bishop goes back, then you have g4. And then if takes, this is absolute nonsense because I don't have any pieces. I'm not castled. I don't even have a dark square bishop anymore. And there's just nothing to be afraid of, and you're up a piece.
I see. But in this situation, yeah, maybe this is too much of a bullet brain thinking, but like I would still be scared. Like even a piece down, if my king side is fully open, on bullet, I'm still scared.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just can't be scared. There's nothing to be scared of. There's just like nothing to be scared of. You can see every single line where I'm trying to make bishop to g4, knight to c6, knight to d4 happen. Takes 3 moves. 3 moves is so many moves. You can do so much in 3 moves. You can get rid of the dark square bishop. You can have like, you can just have a very good position in 3 moves. There's just nothing to be afraid of. There's no line in which black can just play bishop to g4, knight to c6, knight to d4, unless you literally sit there and are like, yes, please, hit me with it. Like, we can see that bishop to g4 doesn't even work on this very first move because they just straight up lose the game. Like, this is just a plus 1.8 for you.
Okay.
Yeah. And you obviously don't want to memorize openings. You just have to understand these ideas, right? If you're playing with the white pieces here, like, you just see that there's this tactic. You just see it. You just have to see it. This is just like a little tactical thing. And then, you know, once again on castling, there was knight to a4. So I guess a6 is the best way to go. And then if a6, once again, you do want to castle kingside. So then you move your queen up and then you want to get your bishop here. And here, for example, if bishop to b4, same trick, right? F takes e5, takes, nothing's changed. This bishop still loses. So black, once again, still can't play bishop g4. All right, let's go knight to c6. So on knight to c6, we can see that bishop to g4 is going to happen. If you play, for example, bishop to e3, maybe now there's like, you know, knight to d4 for black, and you might not like this. This looks a little uncomfortable, perhaps. I mean, I think it's fine for white. But, like, it just never works, basically. Like, the whole thing just never, ever works. There's just no line in which it works. Like, the knight's literally gone.
In which what works? I got lost there.
Bishop to g4, knight to d4.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, like, there's just no variation where if you played logical moves, black is able to get 3 moves off in a row and just one-shot you. That's not how chess is designed. If you're losing to that sequence, it just means that you're not doing anything to stop it.
And yeah, and going forward from there, is there anything worth analyzing? Like, not like on this hypothetical scenario, but like on the actual game that we played.
Oh, on the actual game I played, I think you were just lost.
No,
Yeah, I mean, you were just down a pawn.
that is quite disappointing.
I mean, I don't know what you want me to say. You're down a pawn. You don't really have counterplay.
Yeah, it's okay. We're just being brutally honest.
Yeah, like, I'm gonna push up f5 probably. I'm going to go up, like, probably try to push f4. I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, if you don't believe me, you can look at the engine.
No. I fully believe you. I mean,
Okay.
more like the actual ideas behind my defense. Is there anything worth mentioning? Because even though like I'm just lost, like that's because you're 2300, right? But like in this position, say I'm against a 1900, I'm more than likely have a chance.
I refuse to coach in that way. I refuse to coach people who are willing to get into lost positions. Because if you're in a lost position, then what's the point? We should be doing everything to prevent getting into a lost position instead of worrying about what to do in a lost position. That would save everybody so much more time.
Okay.
Yeah, like, just don't get into lost positions. Just play better moves at the start. Seriously. Once you're lost, it's just like, you know, just don't blunder, hope your opponent blunders, and do your best. Like, that's my general advice, so. I mean, at 2300, it's like if you have pair bishops against bishop knight and you are, like, passive, you're pretty much lost. Like, the edges in chess are just so small. A pawn is very much a big deal. But I just don't think there's any point in coaching you in a lost position.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but alright, let's see how you play with the black pieces.
Oh no.
Oh no, is it way worse?
Maybe. You will see.
Oh,
That will see.
gotta go back onto the chess.com/playonline.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you're playing somebody 300 elo, right? Think about it logically. They're gonna make a mistake at some point. You're gonna get a pawn back. You're gonna get a piece back. You're gonna get a queen back. You're gonna win the game. Easy. Not even a sweat. Against a fellow 1800, they can still blunder, and that's just what you have to wait for. And then there's nothing that you can do about it once you're down a pawn. There's like very little productive things you can do once you're down a material in a chess game without your opponent making active mistakes, which is why I like to say chess is not a game you win. Chess is a game that you lose. And I just have no interest in, like, getting into positions like that myself, and I think you also should not get into the mentality of being okay with getting into positions like that. Yeah, exactly, Falcon. You train to not getting a position instead of how to get out of them, because once you're getting choked, you're kind of fucked. Why train for getting out of a choke when you can just not be choked in the first place? No, but for real. I think that's just such a better mentality. Hey, we don't talk about the people with a choke kink. Yeah, post-flop doesn't matter if you mess up pre-flop. So I think h6, once again, is his fear of bishop g5. He has a very clear fear of bishop to g5. I don't know why. And bishop g4, obviously, in the last game, but... I agree with this, Niznik, but I think that's something that you worry about when you're a little bit better in chess. I feel like it's so much easier to teach somebody to not get into a losing position than to teach somebody how to hold a losing position. I do kickboxing and boxing. Like, it's just so much easier. Holding a losing position is a lesson that I only want to give to somebody if they're, like, actively playing against grandmasters and you know they're going to get in these inferior positions, like out of the Queen's Indian or something, where you're just down a pawn in these stupid endgames that are theoretically drawn but take 5 hours to hold to a theoretical draw because nobody else knows how to, like... You know, like, Niznik, you know exactly what I mean. There's so many positions in chess where you're basically guaranteed a draw if you're able to defend perfectly for 70 moves, but the chances of you defending for 70 moves is so unfun. Oh, I mean, it was just a stupid position where he was down a pawn. No, this was very different from the Queen's Indians down a pawn. No, he was actively down a pawn. But yeah, the Queen's Indian situation I think is one of the clearest examples for beginners. Like, yes, you can theoretically hold this, but do you want to? Probably not. Don't get into Queen's Indians where you're down a pawn. I found this out against Jennifer Yu. It was miserable. And I was sick. Can't believe the girl I shared a bathroom with would force me to defend that rook endgame for 6 hours. Right, exactly, Niznik. Exactly. I don't know if you saw the game, but I played in the Botest chess camp, Niznik, and I had a game. I made a mistake. Where I was down a pawn. The bishop should have gone here. Where I was down a pawn for a very, very, very long time. And it was very unfun. I was just like, bro. I was dumb. I did draw against Jennifer, but it was a hard fight to draw the game. But I knew that. I knew that if I played the endgame perfectly, I would be able to draw it. But I knew. I knew it was a theoretical draw. I was just sitting there like, bruh. This is miserable. No, there's really no need for you. I'm not asking you to look at the game or anything. It was exactly a Queen's Indian, and it was exactly that situation. So in this position, I actually have double pawns, and it's not great. But it's also not terrible. Because his opening was a little subpar, having double pawns is actually not that hurtful for me, because now I can get this half-open file, attack the king, and all that juicy stuff. Fair enough. I feel like chess is always there for you, if you ever want to come back. He's not talking. I've muted myself on his end so he can stop hearing me yap and focus on the chess, because this is supposed to be helpful for him, not just for you guys. So my thought process right now is if I push this, there's always the chance they push f5, and I don't want to en passant, but I'm going to push it here because I also don't want them to push f6 and not have f5 at e6. Long form chess, classical chess, I've never found very enjoyable for like a game perspective. I like winning. Let's make that very clear. But chess is genuinely just a game where you sit there and you wait for your opponent to make mistakes. It does hang g6, but I meant this more like in a hypothetical scenario, not in a literally next move f6 scenario. Which is why I also explained if f5, I don't want to take en passant. So resign button's next to the +15 button. We'll give him a +15 every now and then. Yeah, you need to get a lot of help from your opponent to win if you are planning on being. Taden would like to chat. I'm gonna get yelled at by coach for this move? Oh my god, that's so funny. I was literally just saying how like I was prepared for en passant, but I don't know. This move is still an iffy for me because I think there's some benefits to it if he's able to execute the next part of playing this move. No, I drink coffee like almost every single day. I need coffee. I'm not awake. I'm not a functioning person without coffee. So I'm not gonna en passant because I just explained why I don't want to en passant. En passant. We're gonna move the king instead. I actually think f5 is okay. I think it's an interesting move. It's not forced indeed. I actually think the move is fairly interesting. The dosos yesterday were good. I have a little mini vlog coming out tomorrow, which I am excited about. So I really like this move. I think I have this. As a... I think I'm just gonna take, actually. Thanks, Yima. My nose is destroyed. Like, it's so red. You can even see it. I'm like Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. So now the idea is to stop him from pushing d4. I do not have the ability to have all natural energy. I don't know how people have all natural energy. I need coffee. I need matcha. I need sugar. I don't have a stuffy nose. I have a runny nose. I have the opposite. I just don't want to blow my nose every 5 seconds. So I have takes here. I have this takes. I have this takes. I have a lot of captures here. I think I'm gonna take this one. This is not that clear. I think king to h7 was a much better move to defend the knight. Because now I have queen to e6, which is interesting. I maybe regret moving my king here now. So, you know, all that stuff. But I also have this move c6, where after rook here, I have queen here defending and defending this. So I think c6 is fascinating. The only downside of c6 is that he does have knight to e7. But after knight e7, I actually have queen to d6. I'm not sure. I think I have queen to d6 either way, which I kind of like. Because then after queen b7, I have c6 defending against this check. This is kind of a fork. I'm threatening a queen trade and a knight at the same time. If queen takes, then pawn takes. And then I have pawns that are gonna be kicking it all the way. Oh god, you have bronchitis? Oh, I feel bad for you. I think bishop takes a6 is just whatever. I don't really care about winning a pawn. I want to crush a soul. Much more than I care about the pawn. It is, but I'm already pawns up, so I don't really care about another pawn up, you know? We don't do mercy around here. That being said, though, I have bishop to h4, which is fascinating. Thanks, GG. Oh, he is. Katsuko is there. Let me show you guys the little boy. He's in the booth. I didn't even know that. So I can take on a6. I cannot take on a6. The options are truly endless. I'm gonna take it. Yeah, the position is just kind of really good, so I'm not too worried. Everything works. Usually when everything works, you just pick like one of them and then you hope for the best. But sometimes when I've done that, this is my biggest issue. I think that anything works and the engine disagrees with me. And then I inevitably lose my advantage. So it's maybe not the healthiest mentality, and that's probably what's stopping me from getting better. But I honestly don't care, so... It's just like... The only thing I think about when I get into a game of chess is how fast can I get this game to end? And then my opponents would apparently disagree with me. Instead, I get dragged into 6-hour-long classical games of chess that I never signed up for. I would just like to not be there, that's all. One of the, what's it called, lie detector questions I did with Andrea was, were you embarrassed to draw against me? And I was just like, nope, not at all. Just extremely happy that the game was over. And she's like, fair enough. And it's just like, I don't think I'm ever happy or necessarily that sad if I lose a game. It's just relief that I'm not there anymore. I'm never doing another all-girls classical chess tournament again. I'm not. I refuse. I told her this is my last one. I told her to not even invite me. She doesn't even need to tell me. I will not be offended if she hosts one without inviting me. I'm stuck, help. Here, have 15 more seconds. Hey, Extreme Dota, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome. Thank you, thank you. I was in check! Oh, I just can't move anything?
Honestly, I can just surrender here. I think there's not much more I can do.
Wait, are you like bugged or are you just genuinely don't have?
I genuinely don't see any more progress on any of my pieces.
Sorry. That's very funny. I was just telling my chat how I didn't want to take your pawn because I would rather crush your soul instead. But I honestly think you should keep playing. I'm not even joking. Just keep playing.
Okay, I'll trust you, coach. Thanks.
Yeah. I think this is one of those clear examples that he has like a subpar position. But I don't know. I think bishop takes c5 is interesting. And I think he can find that. I think bishop c5 is okay. I don't think it's that bad. I mean, he's down a pawn. It's not great, but it is an endgame. I've thrown worse for sure. I'm gonna type that to him. Might be a free pawn. Oh. Well, he did not play it. I actually don't think king h7 is even that bad. I don't think his position is that bad. I would rather play this than the previous position. Is it 60 or 6? Okay, I'm gonna do 120 just to be safe. No! Oh my god. Wait, they took back the... They told me that everything was gonna be in seconds, and then they removed that feature, and now nothing is in seconds, and I look like an absolute doofus when I go change the times. Chess.com. I swear. This is on chess.com. I literally, like, they literally sent me a whole email about how like, hey, we're changing up the way that the commands work. And I was like, oh, cool. So everything now, you can be more detailed with how much time you add and stuff. And instead, whatever. It's fine. I would personally like rook c7 more, yes, but I thought they changed it. They said that they changed it. Apparently they did not change it. I'm very mad. That's not a free rook. I can take with my rook. If you're gonna backseat, can you at least do it correctly? Or check with an engine before you backseat? Like, seriously, the minimum requirement to backseat here is just be right. I don't even get that mad if you're right. Just be right about it. So once again, my bishop is kind of funky over here, so I'm gonna try to activate it. Potentially. It's just random DMCA free game music. I don't really know. Yeah, this is part of the non-DMCA. Engine is literally a solver for chess, correct. That's what chess engines do. So like I said, I think he should play this game on. I actually don't think he's doing that poorly. Now he gets this, and I don't like it. I should have just taken the knight. I think the way to get the bishop out is f3, bishop f2. This is also okay. Not ecstatic. This Mario level is probably wild. Hey Buzz, thank you so much for the tier 1. Welcome back to your 5th month. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Bro, I'm so bad at gaming. I can't believe that I cannot get past chapter 2 of Wukong. I genuinely am so sad about it. I love that game and I wish I could play it, but I'm just terrible. I'm just so bad. I was born to be a gamer, but unfortunately all my specs went into chess.
Do you still think I should keep playing, or is that changed now?
I think you can resign now. Yeah, I give you permission to resign now.
Thank you, coach.
Yeah, no worries. I
brutal.
think you played well though. I think it was correct to play on in that position.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What does the engine say?
Well, the engine is probably gonna disagree with me, but I think that game had more potential than the previous game. Here, I'm gonna invite you to a room. There's something about endgames where it's like, it's more worthwhile if you get into a losing endgame because it's the end of the game is near, so it makes it worth it to play on if you're thinking about resigning. Just to see if your opponent can stalemate or not. But
sure.
do you see the position?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay, cool. I think I have you a little too loud now. 1 second, I'm gonna drop it a little. Okay, so the opening was terrible.
I was just so scared because, like, this is your favorite opening, and then, I tried to go for things that aren't as much theory, because I don't know theory, and if I go full theory, you'll know it better than me.
Yeah, the way that works though is that theory is theory for a reason, because it's like the best move in the position.
Yeah, but I don't know them. That's a problem. I know roughly how it goes, but if I go in that position, I don't know how to continue. So
okay, so a really quick theory lesson here. You don't want to play h6. It just doesn't do anything. I don't have any pin threats. I feel like you're a little too scared of pins and you're kind of wasting moves or wasting plans on defending against pins, and that's just something you don't need to worry about at all. I don't even have my pawn up. I can't even play bishop g5. What are we playing h6 for?
Yeah, it's usually that I'm scared of, say, d4. So like opening the bishop with tempo.
Ah, I see. Okay, in that case, if you are scared of d4, you should just play bishop e7.
Okay.
This is a much safer line than bishop c5. There's a lot of theory in bishop c5. Bishop e7, and you just castle, knight to f6, you know, rook to e1. You castle, h3, d6. This is just like 20 free moves. You just roughly, you know, shuffle pieces around, and it can't be that bad. I would definitely recommend playing bishop e7 over bishop to c4. c5, sorry. If you're afraid of
in Spanish in general, you mean?
Yeah, in general.
Okay.
So I would definitely recommend that. And then bishop c5, h6, c3. All of this is really fine once you've made the move. Like, you know, you've made the move. I would say d5 here is probably a little bit sus, because I'm getting a very strong center, and you're also getting a backwards pawn on c7.
Is there any alternatives that you recommend? Because I did this mostly out of being scared of you pushing d5 instead.
Yeah, I mean d6, d5 as like knight a5. I mean, it's not great. You can probably get your knight to c5 at some point. I don't hate d5. I honestly, you know what? I think d5 is okay. I just think in terms of a structure position, it's not like too great. Especially because in the Spanish, there's also a whole bunch of ideas a lot of the time with things like this. Where all of a sudden now you're just like completely exposed in the center. You just have to be really careful about pushing d5 in Spanish without preparation and your king not castled.
Okay.
Yeah, like e takes d5 here, for example, knight takes knight to f4. You're just gonna be in a world of pain. Like once I push d5, this is just really hard to play. Like everything's aimed at your king. So.
Yeah, well, this makes sense. It ended up kind of this way anyways, but yeah.
Yeah. But I think what actually the problem here was, I mean, I think this bishop g4 move was really good. Weakening my king side structure was interesting. But here, I think that f5 might be making it too easy for me, yeah?
Is there any... Yeah, like...
Yeah, okay, you know what? Your position is already so bad. I gotta go back and see where exactly it just, like, got this bad. I think...
Oh, God. Like, the game was brutal, but the analysis is worse. But, like, I understand... I mean, you have to be this way.
Well, I just think that you could have played bishop e7. Like, where did it all go wrong? I think it just was a culmination of, like, d5... followed by this trade, which I don't actually think benefits you that much, because now I get this half open file and I get a stronger center. I just don't really know how it, like, the engine thinks this is way worse than I think it is, actually, for a little context. But this is a very hard position for you to play. Like, this structure, while you might think is, like, a double pawn and it's bad for me, it's actually not that bad for me. You don't have a light square bishop anymore. You don't have any pieces on the king side to attack me, so I actually think bishop to g4 and bishop takes f3 might have been a mistake.
Both of them, or just like actually taking here? Like
actually taking here.
Okay, so until here it's okay, and just leave the bishop there.
Yeah, until here it's okay. I think the problem is here you just don't have anything you can use to actually attack my king. My king is not really that weak. I have a whole bunch of pieces in front of it. My plan is to go to king h1 so I can actually use the g file. You're actually helping me. You know how in the London, do you play the London ever?
No.
Okay, well, in the London there's this bishop on g3 that you're never supposed to take because it opens up the h file for white. So this is the same idea. This actually helps me open up the g file.
Okay.
But it's good that you don't play the London. But yeah, I would say bishop takes f3 is a mistake as well. And then I think after that, f5 is actually probably like one of your only saving moves. I think c5 might have been a little rushed. Because the problem with c5 is that once I take, I just get my knight onto d4, I protect my pawn, and now all of a sudden your d pawn is also really weak. And then I win the d pawn, and then it just kind of goes like, you know, downhill from there.
Can you go back to the c5
Yeah.
move? Yeah, so is c4 better here? Yeah, I was kind of trying to get my pieces active again, mostly like with the knight and the bishop. So by pushing d5, I thought about like eventually activating, say, like the d file more, and then eventually the bishop would be more with a clear path.
I think that's a really good idea, and I think that is absolutely the right idea. I do think, though, that you're not quite ready for it. Your pieces are sort of like scattered. You don't even have your rooks connected. So a bit more of a logical move here, for example, would be queen to d7. Just connect your rooks. Play rook to c8. Play knight to b7. Then push c5. You don't have this terrible rush in this position to play c5 immediately.
Okay.
Like, I don't have any immediate threats. What I'm going to be doing in the meantime is rook to g1. I'm going to be trying to, you know, get pieces onto the g file. If knight to c6, for example, I'm just playing rook to g2. If you don't want to reroute your knight and defend this one, I think you can maybe even play something like rook to c8 and then try to push this. The only problem is whenever you go rook to c8, I'm just going to go straight for the a pawn. So that's a little hard to defend. So maybe knight to b7 to try to push c5. And then if I'm like trying to just reroute here, now you push c5. And now if I take, this is like way better for you, right? Because now you get your knight into the center. Whereas before, even if I took, all you would be getting would be a bishop on c5 and your knight's still sitting on a5. You just weren't quite ready for this pawn break yet. And that's a very, like, that should be more of an intuition thing. You should be looking at this position thinking, oh, if this is an open position, who is this really going to benefit? Are my pieces ready to take on this open position? And the honest answer is no. You have a knight on a5, you have a rook on a8, your queen is still on d8, you know, your rook, like your knight is on g6. It's just not quite ready for this.
I actually love the example that you gave because it showed what my end goal was on that side of the board. Like when you said like move knight to b7 and actually trade it. Yeah, that's what I was trying to achieve actually. I guess it didn't go out right, but like, yeah.
Yeah, if that's what you're trying to achieve it first and then push c5. Get the pieces to where they want to be when the position is open before you actually make that super committal c5 move.
Okay.
Right? This is a very hard concept because there are going to be times when you're not fully ready, but your opponent's even less ready, so you should be doing it. So this is a very, very, very hard concept to master. But for the most part, you want to be taking advantage of having a little bit of time in this position. Do you understand in this position that you're worse?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so if you understand that you're worse, doing something rushed is probably not going to make it better, unless there's a very clear reason to make a move like c5. For example, a really clear reason to make a move like c5 could be, you know, my king is super duper weak. You want to open up the position, you want to go for it. But we've established that my king is not really that weak. You don't have a light square bishop anymore. I have a whole bunch of pieces in front of it actually. So that's not really a threat. And also you want to think about, oh, does my opponent have their pieces and positions that can attack? And in this case, the answer is once again, yes, I'm actually threatening your d-pawn. Your queen is kind of stuck. You can't move your rook because of this f-pawn. My knight's ready to go on d4 to attack f5. So you're just not quite ready for all of this.
Okay.
And also, if your goal was to get your knight to potentially a better square, like c5, being able to go to e4 or something, then you want to do that beforehand. Because if you don't do it beforehand, then it's gonna suck for you.
Yeah, actually, like right after I made this move, I was gonna take it with the bishop, and I saw like you had like stack on f5 with your other bishop.
Yeah, I mean the f5 stack, it's probably not gonna work, but it is interesting. I just don't think that is like, I'm happy to positionally win if I can. I don't need to win on tactics every time. And I mean, the rest of this game was just kind of lost. But actually, I do think you playing on, I think, was correct. Like, you just never know. It's an end game. Things can sometimes be less clear. Like here, for example, knight to d5. I gotta move my bishop. Here, actually, you have knight to e3, right? So it's just like keeping little tricks in mind. Like if I go here, now you have knight e3. Opposite color bishop endgames are oftentimes a draw. So keeping that in mind, if you swap off your knight for my dark square bishop, and you are left with a dark square bishop, and I'm left with a light square bishop, and then you swap off rooks, this is very likely a draw. Little things like that you can start thinking about once you enter the endgame. But it's very hard to think about those things in a 5+5 game, so I don't fault you for that. But that's the next step. For getting to 2000, you just have to not lose games. Yeah, if you don't lose, it's very hard to lose rating. So it's saving these type of positions to get anything out of it.
Okay. I guess recapping, it's mostly like mastering an opening and then just like playing it safe while building position before committing.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, but also at the same time, don't wait too long, because if you wait too long, then it's also going to suck, because then you're gonna struggle with your opponent's gonna see what you're trying to do, so then they're gonna try to stop you from doing it, and it's going to be terrible.
Is there a difference in that when you play with white versus black? Like, does it happen with white more often than you want to commit first?
At your reload, I want to say no.
Okay. But like, even then, say at 2000, because that's the end goal at the end of the day.
Sorry, do you mind repeating the question?
Oh, would there be a difference in who is committing first at 2000? You know, like,
for white or black?
Yeah, like, do I want to play more defensively if I'm playing black and not commit and wait for them to commit first? Or
no, I don't think so. Not once you get to the middle game. For openings, sure, but I don't think that's a very healthy way to think about it either. Because then you're like, if I say like, yes, as black, white is usually supposed to be the one on the offense, and then sometimes white is not the one on the offense, and they don't care. They don't like, they just play very passively, then you should be taking the chance, right? It's just very situational. That's why coaching chess at like this ELO, or like improving at this ELO, is very hard.
Yeah, but I don't want to pick up any chess books, to be honest, or...
That's okay, and you don't have to. It's just getting good at tactics, understanding when to make these open breakthroughs, which you also had a problem with in the other game, right? Like, you pushed f5, and f5 is just not a move for that position. I don't know how else to explain it. That position just does not benefit pushing f5. I have all of the ability to push c6 and d5. Why would you want to push f5 if you know that I can break in the center? If you keep pressure on my other pawn here, I'm going to go back to it because...
F5 you mean on the previous game, right?
Yeah, the previous game.
Oh, okay.
Not this one. So, you played this. Oh, sorry. Like, just some rough semblance of this, I guess. But, like, just in this position, this time... Oh, I didn't move knight to c6. That's the problem. Makes a lot more sense. In this position, if you just look at it, like, if I push c6, what the hell do you think I'm trying to do? It's very obvious.
Protecting my knight from going into d5?
Absolutely not. No, I do not care at all if your knight goes to d5 or b5. No. I mean, no, I don't think I am. I'm obviously trying to push d5.
Yeah, okay.
If that's not clear, then we need to go back to the drawing board and think about the first rules of the opening. Controlling the center, developing our pieces, and getting castled. If a move like c6 doesn't put off like warning bells in your head, oh, maybe my opponent wants to push d5, then we need to go back. We need to take a step back, not worry about openings, not worry about anything, and just worry about what are the rules in the opening. We're controlling the center, developing our pieces, and getting castled.
Okay.
And that's why pushing f5 is such an issue, because once you push f5, you are no longer putting pressure on e5, so it is free for me to push d5. Does that make sense? You're taking pressure off of the center by pushing f5.
This makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so I think these opening pawn things or these pawn structure things are something that you can absolutely work on, and I think the best way to work on it without reading a chess book is to just sit in a position, If your opponent makes a pawn move, just be like, what does my opponent want to do? That's it.
Okay.
Think about it. What does my opponent want to do? Not what are they stopping me from doing? That's a very egocentric way of thinking about it. In chess, you have to think about what your opponent wants to do. We're trying to be prophylactic here, right? So, like, my opponent pushed c6. What do they want to do? Sometimes the answer can really just be nothing. Maybe they're just making a bad move, but you still have to think about it. You can't just play c6 and be like, oh, I'm sure they were just stopping me from playing d5. I'm sure they can't have any more threats. You just have to think about what they want to do. And it's very important. But
Is there, so regarding openings as well, do you think it's worth it to like look into which small pieces are more important than others, and like how do I actually go for these kind of resources?
wait, sorry, you said what?
Just, like in which, how do I know like in which openings which small pieces can be more important than others? This is kind of like not in the same line of thought, but like I've heard, I think on the London there's a specific bishop you want to take out first, for example, like on the opponent. Does that make sense as a question?
No, it doesn't. I'm not understanding. Sorry.
So, no, all good, all good. So say either me or an opponent is playing a specific opening.
Okay.
There are certain ideas behind these openings that say they want to develop a light squared bishop, just to say an example. And if you're playing, say, as black, and you see that they're developing that bishop, it's part of the idea to like try to take it out as soon as possible.
Oh, okay. I think I understand. So for the London specifically, right? Like this bishop sits on g3 because if you take it, then this is an half open file for white, and it's the freest attack ever for white.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not really saying that the bishop is valuable or not valuable. I honestly don't give a shit about this bishop at all, but what you need to do is to not take it as black. Does that make sense? That's more what I was trying to say with that example. It has nothing to do with which piece is more valuable. When it comes to value for pieces in openings, that's just so opening dependent, and that's why memorizing openings is the worst way to learn chess. And instead, you should be seeing what pieces make it into the middle game and what you're able to do with those pieces. Like, for example, in the Sicilian defense, the dark square bishop is usually extremely important for black because if you're playing any fianchetto style positions, right, in the Sicilian, then you just want to not have to deal with having these exposed squares. And it's just like, I mean, there's just no way to quantify that. You just have to go through every single opening and look for yourself. It's very hard. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I heard some of these ideas by my previous coach when I was an undergrad.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, like most of the openings he went through were not the ones that I played regularly, so of course I forgot most of it. But I do know that, yeah, like how it's technically very important to like know all of this kind of things about specific openings, right?
I don't think so, but I mean, honestly, you do you.
Okay.
I don't think openings matter, but I also have a very jaded perspective of chess because I only play. I don't think openings matter for Blitz. Genuinely. Just don't make mistakes. Just don't lose pieces. Don't lose on time, and you'll probably win the game. I'm not even joking. Just. Seriously. Like, just don't be losing out of the opening. Have a roughly playable position. Have some idea of where your pieces are going to go. And then don't lose pieces for the rest of the game. And then you're basically set. I just don't think that it's that important.
Yeah.
If
So
you're just
don't
playing...
lose and win.
Yeah, if you're just playing one opening, just don't be bad at that one opening you play.
Okay.
There's no reason to only play one opening and to not look at it. Right? Like, you just have to go through a few games for that opening. Like, just look through games, look through what people are doing, look through what rough middle game plans are, and then you should be set. If you're choosing to play 10 different openings, that's a totally different story. But if you're choosing to only play one opening, if you lost a game and you feel like it was because of the opening, just run it back really quick. Just look through the engine really quick. Where did I make a mistake? Identify that. Don't make that mistake again. Move on.
Okay.
Like that should be everybody's like standard for openings. I just think that all of the openings that people try to sell you and teach you are honestly a bit of a waste of time, because let's be real, nobody's gonna remember 300 lines in the Sicilian Dragon. Nobody is. Who has that time in their life to go look at that? Just studying the ideas and playing through the games and then identifying this is where I made that mistake, let's not do it again. Oh, I swapped off a dark squared bishop in this position where I'm absolutely not supposed to. All right, let's not swap off the dark squared bishop again. In this position, I tried sacrificing my rook on c3. Oh, that didn't work. Engine says it was terrible. Let's not do that again. It just shouldn't be like, it should not be that hard, really. Like, take it easy on the openings and focus on ideas. I think everybody puts way too much emphasis on like, oh, I have to memorize 20 moves of the Sicilian. And it's like, no, bro, just don't blunder pieces. You're still blundering pieces. What's the point of memorizing 20 moves of the Sicilian if you're gonna blunder your queen on move 21? Seriously. I just never understood the way that, like, anyway, sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah, I just take it a bit more to the extreme where I memorize probably a good 3 moves and then like let it vibe from there and see how it goes. But yeah, I totally get what you're saying. I guess more like understand the reasoning behind the opening rather than like memorizing the opening itself.
Yeah, if you just understand controlling the center, developing pieces, and castling, you're set, really. Like, all this other stuff is just like, it's good. It's good if you can remember it, but I just don't think that you are, and I don't think that it benefits you for the time that you're going to have available to put into chess.
Yeah, I don't really want to memorize openings.
Right, like,
I have more fun stuff at life.
Yes, don't memorize openings then. If you don't like memorizing openings, just don't memorize them. There's no reason. You don't need to watch any videos on, like, these are the moves. Watch the videos that are explaining why the moves. Why is so much more important than what.
Okay.
But you got this.
What if I just quit chess?
Honestly, focus on poker. You're gonna make so much more money.
I haven't played poker in like 2 years.
Have you played more
like,
chess or poker in the last 2 years?
If we don't count bullet, then poker. If we do count bullet, then chess for sure. Cause like even at work, like I can squish a few bullet games here and there.
Yeah, that's true.
But if my player is watching this, then I definitely don't play chess at work.
Yeah. No, I mean, honestly, like, the best way to improve in bullet is just tactics. You don't even need to play a valid opening. You can play whatever you want in bullet and just be good at tactics and be fast, and then you'll win. But that's a different story.
Awesome. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nemo.
Of course, you're very welcome. If you have anything that you want to shoot me a message for at any point, let me know. Improving in chess takes a lot of time, obviously. So if you are ever not, if you're not willing to put time, if you don't have time to put into chess, the worst thing that you can do is look at openings. Everything is better to put time into. Understanding plans, working on tactic puzzles. If you're a person with 10 minutes in a day to maybe go on chess.com, it really should just be tactics. If you have 20 minutes, then maybe look at some model game for the opening you play. Look over a game if you have 20 minutes. I just think that studying openings is very time consuming and the payoff is very low.
Yeah, no, this is actually like really valuable. Like in general, I guess more of the analysis than the actual like extra information. Although everything was really nice. So actually, like, chat, if you want something like this, you should just buy a HelloFresh box and then send the receipt to Nemo, and it's actually like extremely good value. So it's like good discount for the HelloFresh plus a chess lesson. So
thanks, Tadden. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah. Hashtag ad. All right, appreciate it. Hope you have a great time.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Hope you had it as well.
Yeah.
Because you got to like beat evil for once. Be on the winning side, absolutely destroy me.
I know, right? I mean, honestly, you can't improve in chess by just playing. You can't improve in chess by playing bullet. You're honestly in a very tough spot for improving in chess, but you know that and you're aware. So, you know.
So when I first started watching you, which was 2020, I was 1300, and most that I've learned is just by watching you play.
Oh.
And you play a lot of bullets, so I kind of understand a lot of like, I call them pirate ideas, where it's something that you wouldn't play in another match, but you like pirate it out, as in like sacking the bishop because you know they're gonna like play fast afterwards and just like not see it then.
I love it! I love hearing it! My bullet tricks are being used! No, but seriously, bullet is such a different game. Like, if you just focus entirely on getting bullet to 2000, you'd be able to do it in like 2 months. I'm not even joking. Like, if you actually want to improve in chess, it's a much longer grind, but improving in just bullet is so easy.
I don't know, but yeah, I mean, all my ratings go up pretty much in par. I was 1300 in all of them, and yeah, in 4 years I got to 1800 in all of them. Mostly just by watching you. I haven't really been coached by anyone else. But
that's amazing. No, it really is amazing. I mean, obviously, the next step to go from 1800 to 2000 is where I think a lot of people get stuck. And the reason they get stuck is because a lot of them have been one-tricking openings for a long time, or if they have not been one-tricking openings, their concept of transferring from openings into middle games is terrible. And that's why they're getting stuck. Like, your tactics seems fine. You seem to struggle a little bit with these opening concepts, even in the opening you do play, especially when it comes to controlling the center. And obviously part of that is because you watch me, and all I do is play bullet, and, you know, I don't really explain any ideas, I just play fast. But if you really want to improve, the next step is to, like, just think about why are we making the moves that we're making.
Very relatable.
Yeah. Fair enough, you know, I have that problem too. I'm not improving because I don't think about the moves. Who would have guessed?
But it is very fun, right?
Yeah, thinking about chess helps you improve in chess. Wow, who would have guessed that? Man, some really insightful information here. But yeah, have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your work. But
me too. Bye, Nemo, and bye, everyone. Hope you have a good stream.
All right, thank you, Taden. Bye. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the lesson. I honestly think that chess is a really tough game to learn, but I also think that, you know, it can be learned, and there's ways to shortcut it. And if you don't really care that you're not allowed to, like, if you're not really able to improve or anything like that, if you feel like you're being held back, then there's really, you know, yeah. But I also do think that nobody here is trying to become a world champion, so that's okay. Just play bullet, have fun. It's not that serious. Chess just doesn't have to be that serious. No worries, Taden. Hey, Sirocco, thank you so much for the prime. Welcome back to your 24th month. I mean, I don't mind teaching chess. I don't mind teaching chess, especially to Taden, because I've known Taden for a really long time. I met him in person. Taden is cool. Taden is a valuable member of the community, even though, and I don't know, Taden is really cool. I feel like I'm exposing Taden a little bit here, but he's shared a little bit of his life along, like, in chat and Discord and stuff throughout the years. So it's kind of nice putting a voice to the thoughts, to the person and all that stuff. And honestly, it's just like, you know, I don't think that I'm a very educational chess teacher, nor am I trying to be ever, honestly, unless somebody is paying me to do it. So this is one of those rare, like, once every few months somebody wins a chess lesson with me and I do this type situation. I just have never really, like, explored. I don't know. Coaching chess is tough because the way I learn chess myself is by bashing my head into a wall repeatedly. I weirdly produce the highest amount of PogChamp champions because I understand what it means to get good at chess really fast in a short period of time. I'm not saying they're going to be super successful for like a long period, but in a little time period, these things are so important. If you can just not lose pieces, you don't understand how valuable that is in life. Just don't make mistakes. Seriously, just don't blunder. Just never lose a piece. If you never lose a piece, how can you lose a game of chess? But I'm not joking. I am not joking about this. Just don't lose pieces. If you never lose pieces, that's it. That's all. That's all you gotta do. Nemo's School of Chess is literally just win, forehead. Don't memorize 20 moves of theory. That's the opposite of what I'm teaching. I'm literally just telling you guys to not blunder pieces. That's it. It's not that... If you just don't lose pieces, you can get to 1800 easy. But I'm serious. It's not a very fun way of playing chess. But it works. And if you don't understand my point, then whatever, I don't care. But seriously, at a 300 level, you just see everybody blundering pieces. Imagine if you were the 300 that was not blundering any pieces. Duh. There you go. But yeah, I do think that the way I play chess is not very fun. And I think that that is also a result of being extremely jaded when it comes to chess itself. I just played it for so long. The way I learned the game was by bashing my head into a wall. By playing a lot of games. I played a lot of games growing up. Just, like... played online. I did all the things. I played in person. I played at clubs. But yeah. Okay. Yes, chess is a game that you... Chess is a game that you win. Sorry, chess is a game that you win basically by only your opponent making mistakes. Sure, you can play amazing, you can put so much pressure on your opponent, but if they play perfect, the game is going to end in a draw, and that's just the way the game works. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. I'm not saying that there's anything, like, inherently bad about it. I'm just saying that that is how the game, objectively speaking, works. You can play perfect, but if they also play perfect, the game's a draw. So you just have to wait for them to lose. So what do? Just play perfect and hope they make a mistake. Or to the best of your ability. Alright, we're going to register both of these $100 WSOP online tournaments, starting at 100 big blinds each. I was actually keeping an eye out on the $126 bounty. It's six-handed. Whew. If I can cash one of these today, I would be very happy. Six-handed should move faster. Sure, I mean, you can start breaking down how to not blunder and how to not make mistakes, like losing your queen. But if you don't want to listen to my advice, I don't really care if you're stuck 1,000 forever. Like, it's not my business at all. I just don't care. You can be stuck 1,000 all your life for all I care. If you want to listen to my advice and improve in chess, then you can listen to my advice and improve in chess. This is interesting. I'm just gonna call at 9 deuce off. Or you can go do 10 minutes of puzzles a day and hit your rating goals. But not everybody is ready for that conversation, that they're not putting in the work required to get to their rating goal. So if you want to be delusional about it, that's okay. At King 6 of spades. Oh. Also, I hope YouTube enjoyed the lesson. I'm going to cut my YouTube stream because we're on poker now. But I hope you were able to learn something. If anything, if the last thing you learn, honestly, should just be go do puzzles. Just do puzzles. If you're blundering, do puzzles. That's it. That's all you need to do to work on. But if you want to be delusional, that's okay. Alright. Bye, YouTube.